Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing today? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is Three Buck Theater, and welcome to the very first episode of Uncultured Swine. Now, you might be asking yourself, what exactly is Uncultured Swine? Well, it's a bit of a jokey title. The whole point is that we take a look at the one-star reviews, the worst reviews that we can find on IMDb for certain movies, and just to see how uncultured some people are. Now, we'll be talking about movies you like during this series. We'll be talking about movies that you don't like and these reviews you might agree with. I consider myself to be more of a neutral third party who does tend to like more things than not, but I thought it'd be pretty funny to take a look at some of these things. And today I wanted to start off by a very controversial film, by a movie that I know I personally love, at least, well, the home video release of it, not the theatrical. And I'm referring to, of course, Zack Snyder's Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Now, Dawn of Justice came out back March 25th, 2016, and it did not do very well overall. It grossed a fair amount of money, but there was something that was missing, and that was 30 minutes of footage that was mandated to be cut out by Warner Brothers. And so once we got the Ultimate Edition on home video a few months later, a lot of people changed their opinion. But when they first saw the movie, a lot of people out there didn't like it. So I thought we would take a look at what IMDb is saying about it, because, hey, who doesn't like a good laugh or a good rage fit? So let's dive right in. First things first, we have this person with a 1 out of 10. Boring man versus Superman, Dawn of Who Gives a Crap. I want my money back, all of it. I will take a check or Bitcoin or stamps or cigarettes or in some form of currency. But absolutely, I want my money back. Jesse Eisenberg should be fired from acting. Zack Snyder should be fired from directing, or you could fire them both. I can live with that. Way too serious for an all-white cast forced to play cartoon superheroes. Levity would have helped were the writers capable of crafting jokes. The movie desperately wanted to compete with Avengers movies and failed, for the record. The Avengers movies are very mediocre, very, very, very mediocre, a low watermark. Let artists make art. You chumps should stick to whatever it is chumps are good at doing. I don't know what chumps are good at doing. Well, sir, you couldn't be more wrong about Boring Man versus Stuperman. Sorry, Dawn of Who Gives a Crap. I want to make sure I have that one correct there on the screen. For one, the movie is not meant to be an Avengers film. I just want to make that abundantly clear. It was meant to kind of lead into what would be an Avengers film. Think, I don't know, Iron Man 2, but better. And it's not meant to have levity in it. The levity was added in Justice League the next year, and guess what? Everyone hated it. So you're dumb. All right. This person here says awful on so many levels. Warning, spoilers. At least they give you a spoiler warning. This is my first review, and I'm writing it because the movie was so bad. To its real potential. I was bored the first 2 hours of the movie. Then the action began, but it ended just as fast. I'm pretty sure that's also how his sex life went. Almost nothing was good except for Wonder Woman, but she didn't feel like Wonder Woman. She felt more like a Xena warrior goddess. She didn't even have her glasses on when she wasn't Wonder Woman. He's mad that Diana's not wearing glasses. Okay. Clark wore glasses. Were you happy with that, you Uncultured Swine? The scene where Affleck is training weights was because he was going to meet Superman in a fight was just hilarious and so unnecessary. In no superhero movie have we seen a superhero training weights just before a fight. Like, it would help him. Like, he would gain 10 kilograms of muscle. It's just an ad for Ben Affleck's body training. It was sad. Dude, he was like the most ripped he had ever been in his entire life. That was peak physical Affleck at that moment in the movie. So obviously, you're going to want to show it off, right? It's something that's going to make the ladies swoon a little bit, and quite frankly, a number of dudes too. But that was Affleck at the height of his peak physical training. Like, there's nothing wrong with showing off that physique. Now, the butt shot, that didn't do nothing for me. All right, Snyder was so predictable in many scenes, no wow factor at all. Really? I thought the Martha thing was pretty wow factor. Man of Steel was good, but this one sucked almost more than Daredevil. The cast of Flash and Aquaman was a total disappointment. I'm not going to go see any more DC movies. So you're upset that there were only brief, like 5-second cameos of the Flash and Aquaman. Okay. Man, I really wonder if you saw Justice League. What we have here is the crappiest and most disappointing movie in a long time. That's ought to be pretty good. All right, he says, as I write this review, I have just had a thoroughly disappointing movie experience, and just so happens that I have some strong feelings about the source material for this movie, so be prepared for a bit of ranting and a few more adult words than usual. Sir, this is the internet. I don't think you understand. Adult words generally don't apply to anything. It's at this point, it's kind of all bets are off. You can say whatever you want on the internet. There's consequences, obviously, but you sitting there and giving a trigger warning because you're going to use some adult language is I say bring it on. Like don't be a moron. He says I have to say that I bought this movie only because I wanted it in my collection just to be complete. I can't really disagree. I own Justice League on Blu-ray, but it's unopened, and I don't think I'm gonna open it before Zack Snyder's. A movie about Batman and Superman fighting heroes that I grew up with is not my kind of movie. Well, sir, it's called Batman v Superman. So there's that. In the end, I realized that my expectations of crappiness was not enough. I really disliked this movie. In short succession, the movie turned several of my childhood heroes into bad guys, and the greatest Superman bad guy into an unstable hippie-like jerk that goes through the movie behaving like he is a drug addict. So basically, this movie went down the drains for me straight away, and I have not even gotten started on the plot. Actually, I felt so annoyed over this crap that I actually spent time taking notes while I was watching. Wow, this guy is serious business. He was seriously upset at the theatrical cut of Batman v Superman that he's paused his enjoyment of the film in order to take notes. I mean, I review movies and I try to mentally log things. I forget a lot of stuff, but this dude took notes. So let's see what he says here. All right, so same stupid nonsense about XXX being too powerful is a threat that needs to be government controlled that has been used in hundreds, if not thousands, of crappy low and high budget action movies. I hate that crap. It's stupid, stupid, stupid. But it's also realistic. I just have to kind of make that point abundantly clear. We live in a world where if there was a living God, the government would try to find some way to regulate it. Like, I just don't think you understand how the real world works. And this is like, I mean, even Iron Man and the Avengers had that with the Sokovia Accords. Like, are you going to write a review going, Captain America Civil War was just a bad movie? All right. Oh, here. Okay. Weird and total, uninteresting dream scenes. Like, what the fuck did the writer smoke? Come on. If you're using adult language, actually, come on. If you're going to use the F word, go for the goddamn gold here, sir. If they wanted to pad the movie, it was a crappy way of doing it and beat why. With over 3 hours, Ultimate Edition. Oh, this is the Ultimate Edition. He didn't like the Ultimate Edition? You are an uncultured swine. It is way too long for such a crappy movie anyway. Here is somewhat positive note at least. It was indeed rather funny that they had chosen CNN to spew out nonsense conspiracy theories about Superman being responsible for the bomb in the wheelchair. Fake news, anyone? Oh, as a quick caveat to that, Time Warner owns CNN. Warner Brothers is also owned by Time Warner at the time. Now it's all owned by AT&T. Hey, so now you get a little bit of a history lesson on who owns what in this country. He says, okay, I had a little bit of enjoyment. At least there's something here he liked. All right, let's talk about that. Of the movie during the last part when it finally turned into a bit of action. Batman's car and plane was cool. The action was once Batman getting knocked on his head enough to see senses again was a nice chunk of CGI goodness that I have to admit. Okay, after 3 mostly painful hours, the movie finally comes to an end, and what an end. Meh. Not only was it a crappy ending, but they managed to drag it out with excruciatingly boring scenes. I am sure a lot of the above can be said to be subjective. For instance, my dislike of the way my childhood characters were treated. I'm not a professional reviewer, though this is my personal take on the movie. If you don't like it, fine with me and good for you, but do not feel obliged to tell me about it. Well, sir, again, this is the internet. And when you put something out there, it's going to probably get brought back to you to an extent. So when I'm going to, I'm going to respond. You didn't understand the movie. There's a lot of subtext. I'm just saying. Excruciatingly boring scenes. It was a well-made movie. It was a well-shot, well put together film that, had a bit of a clunky third act. But that was just, hey, that not everything is perfect, but it gets better the more you watch it. Anyway, let's dive on here. So, this one should be pretty funny here. The names sound familiar, but not the characters. Oh, I love this argument. That's not my Superman. Hashtag Batman doesn't kill. Hashtag, to quote Snyder, wake the fuck up. He says here, I admit it. I am old school. And again, I'm old school. If you like the 1989 Keaton Batman, he murders people. I just want to make that abundantly clear. He blew up that chemical factory with people on the inside. I don't think they're fine. Although Zack Snyder would probably disagree with me. He says, okay, I admit it. I grew up old school, grew up reading DC Comics. I know the canon and I know the backstory. Enjoyed the campy cartoons. And Batman! Batman! This is not Batman. This is not Superman. Preach, sir, to no one. They're not good enough to bear those names. Some greedy, expletive deleted. Slap these names on their goffle. Okay. That's an interesting word. Is that even a real word? Goffle? And fed the mess to the public. If you paid to see this, you're to blame. Ooh, you're the problem. As long as you pay, they'll keep it up. Harumph. Yes, a harumph for you, sir. I see you are a Blazing Saddles fan. I'd give it a second star if they renamed the characters and stopped abusing my memories of the golden age of comics. Come to think of it, Night Owl could have made a better Batman than this Batman, and a decent Clark Kent too. No, I wouldn't stretch it to cover Superman. Well, okay, so clearly this guy's a Watchmen fan, but he's just not a BVS fan. I'm sorry that mature takes on these characters is a bit too much for you, sir. All right, let's see here. This one, okay, some spoilers, just so we're aware at this point, kind of to be expected. Good actors, bad film. Guys, the actors played very good, but the script was so bad. You killed the movie for me. I was expecting soothing more for a big movie like this. Doomsday? Batman and Superman fighting each other in the vein of like the Dark Knight Returns. I'm like, Wonder Woman showed up. I'm just saying, like, huh? Anyway, there was no story. Just put all the visual effects you can find and wishing it will be great. Come on, in brackets. Parentheses, sorry. Set the camera for 5 seconds. I know it's a big movie, but you don't have to go from every scene so we don't catch the details. Sorry, but the script is bad. The no dialogue. At least with all the visual effects, show more gadgets, focus on some of them. I know you have to make it dark and everything, but you hide every detail the viewers want to see in blur and dark moments. I don't think I'll go see the next one in cinema. It isn't worth it to me. To be fair, I mean, if it's Wonder Woman, it is worth it. If it was Justice League, it's no. My advice is make the writer read some comics and watch some DC anime, and then he will learn something. Dude, Terrio's work on BVS, and I'm assuming Justice League, is probably going to be pretty tight. If you saw the Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, that took elements, I believe, from what Justice League Part 2 was supposed to be with Darkseid. So you clearly missed out on a lot of stuff here. Okay, we'll just do this. We'll do this one, and then we'll do one more. All right, so it says, well, there's 151 minutes of my life I'll never get back. So he's clearly talking about the theatrical cut. Sir, I can already tell you where this review is going to go. It's not going to be good. It says here, 5-second cameo shot of Aquaman, a little bit of Wonder Woman, a flash of the Flash. See what I did there? Wink. Yes, you, sir, are a master of the pen, which in this case is clearly mightier than the sword. You have cut me deep with your 1-star review that I have to keep reading. A psychotic, vengeful Batman bent on murder, and a confused and perplexed Superman. Throw in a woefully and wrongfully cast Jesse Eisenberg as a young Lex Luthor, who could have been better cast as the Joker's younger brother, and you have the dreadful mess that was Batman versus Superman. Not even Batman v Superman. Batman versus. This motherfucker is serious. Like others, I really wanted to see this movie. I was pleased with Man of Steel, so I wanted to give this a chance. Really, I did. Regrets, I have them. Well, sir, there's no such thing as regrets out there. You should have seen. You wrote this before seeing the next movie. All right, so this will be a long one, but should be funny. 1 star, worse than the worst superhero movie, Ghost Rider and X-Men 3. Really? You're gonna, I mean, really? You're gonna try to say that X-Men 3 is better? Well, I mean, theatrically speaking, sure, I'll agree with you on that one. I can rewatch the theatrical of X-Men 3, but okay. There are a few experiences horrible, I'm assuming more horrible, than watching a bad movie. The last time I felt this uncomfortable and horrible in a theater was when I was watching Ghost Rider 1. Now I think that movie at least has some fun moments. It did, actually. I liked both Ghost Rider films. I thought comic book movies are improving and becoming smart. This movie is awful. The whole movie is a funeral march, not the kind where you feel sad. No, this funeral march is very irritating and just wrong. Kind of like going to the funeral of your ex-girlfriend who happened to be abusive, I would assume. Anyway, Jesse Eisenberg should have been an awesome Lex Luthor. We already got a Joker. Why the hell did the movie make him into another Joker? Lex is smart and a billionaire. Joker is smart and maniacal. They both are psychotic and crazy, but they both play to their own specific motivations. If you are having trouble, I mean, like, you just wanted Gene Hackman. Just say you wanted Gene Hackman or Kevin Spacey. That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. You say, okay. Ooh, here we go. Let's sit and talk about Ben Affleck. Everybody kept praising him as Batman. This Batman, it didn't matter who played this awful Batman. You never see Bruce Wayne in this movie, only Batman. That's not true at all. This Batman is cold, old, and cranky. That is true. Again, it's not Ben's fault. The fault is that the movie makers are on crack and dunked their heads in the toilet while making this movie. Okay, Henry Cavill. I thought he was great Superman. I didn't like Man of Steel, but I never hated it. This Superman is awful because this Superman is juggling with what it means to be a human when he's not a human, when he's an alien, otherwise known as a god amongst men, and he is praised throughout the world for saving everybody, and there's that demand and that expectation, and the government wants to control him, and he's trying to understand humanity because he's not human. Terrible. Oh, here we go. The only good thing I have to say about this movie is Gal Gadot. She seems to be enjoying her role in the movie, and the few little time she was on the screen, she was great. That I agree with. Ooh, but this one, you bad. This is not a good line here, sir. It's not a good look for you, sir, Mr. Random Anonymous Person on IMDb. I hate Zack Snyder. I thought he was brilliant after watching 300 and Watchmen. No, he is not. He is like bad candy. The first few bites taste awesome. If you eat more than that, it will upset your stomach. I don't understand how you can watch two other comic book adaptations like 300 and Watchmen and not sit there and go, yeah, no, Snyder knows what he's up to. It says here, if you like comic book movies but don't read many comics, or I like comic book movies but I don't read many, there's kind of your problem right there. So I assure you this hatred is not coming because I am a comic book fan. This movie is just bad. There are so many awful things that I want to say about this movie, but I think a lot of people covered it. The one thing I want to say is this: DC movies could have been something. Now it became a smelly, oozing ulcer, which is making people nervous, sick, and very unwelcoming. Truth be told on that one, good sir. Truth be told on that one. You're not wrong about where the DC universe has gone. Okay. Like, and I just mean that from like an administrative perspective, from an executive perspective, but we're now in this new era, and these reviews are a couple years old, but we're now in this new era where AT&T and Time Warner or Warner Media really, they seem to find value in what Zack Snyder has done, and that has a lot to do with the fan base and everything else as a result of that. So I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty optimistic for the future. But anyway, I just wanted to like do this video, have a little bit of fun, laugh at some of these reviews. These are just a couple. There are tons and tons of them. There's a litany of content. So if you guys like this type of show, this Uncultured Swine, if you will, and you want to see more, let me know what movies you want me to look at in the video comments, and I will do that. I definitely want to do more high profile movies, good, bad, the other, and then of course just kind of have a laugh because some of these takes are horrible. And I know I have horrible takes too every once in a while. I'm pretty perfect, but it happens. But I just want to see what you guys have to say about this. I'll talk to you guys all later. Have yourself a great day. Thank you again for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And peace out.